Perfect timing right there. That was good.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the 11th or 12th episode of Clueless.
11, 12. I lost count, to be honest, man.
All right, well, welcome
losing
back.
count.
Hey, man, it's that old age. No, JK. But yeah, welcome back to another episode of Clueless.
Hey, 11 or 12, man.
11 or 12.
Hey, that's appropriate for this right now. I'm gonna use
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Dang.
That's crazy. 11 or 12, man.
Hey,
Yo.
time flies.
Time does fly. I still remember when we first started. Good old memory lane where we were all still like
Yeah.
really unsure. Well, we're still really unsure with a lot of stuff, but at least we're more comfortable with where we're at.
Some people are probably like, bro, it's 11, chill.
Yeah.
I was like, yesterday. You started like yesterday.
A couple weeks ago, man. Light, dude. But
That's crazy.
but yeah, no. How was your week, bro?
My week was good, bro. It was I was in training for the military, and it was I low key. The topic that we're gonna talk about somewhat kind of is gonna be good, so I'll go into it more.
Yeah, for sure.
But we got a special topic today. I mean, I don't even know if it should be called a topic. It's something very special, and
yeah, it is.
and it takes guts. It takes faith. It takes strength to be able to say and do. You know what I'm saying? What's about to happen? And Selene actually brought it to my attention. I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do it. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
glory to the Lord. And
That's true. Amen to the Heavenly Father. Shout out to Josh to give us this platform, and he's right. Whatever. I don't even know if it's a topic. Yeah, it is a topic. Matter of fact, I was talking to my coworker about it, and I don't want to spoil it. I guess not even spoil, but I don't know what your situation is. But as far as we were gonna have a special guest, and for whatever reason it didn't work out. So we kind of walked past it, and then we just, kept working. Time got under us. I had to deal with the family issue. Wasn't here for about 2 weeks, and now we're here.
yeah,
Let's do it,
we're
bro.
bringing up that same what we were gonna talk about.
Super
We're bringing it-
ambiguous,
we're bringing it
huh?
up. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and always remember, subscribe, like, you know what I'm saying, and leave your comments. You know what I'm saying, especially for this one. Leave your comments. What you guys think. What you guys like, dislike. If you guys want us to talk about a certain thing, let us know.
Let it rip, man. But awesome, yeah. Well, yeah, like Josh has said, today we're gonna be talking about, or I guess at least I'm gonna be talking about my own testimony. I'm gonna be talking about my own past, as I usually do. Lol. But
We all, and don't we all?
yeah, I know, true. I guess we all do, huh? But
I think we before we get started, I don't know if you should or I should give a little intro of what like testimony is. I know, or I don't know if you want me to give it.
yeah, go for it.
A testimony is a big thing. It's basically like announcing and saying something that has happened to you, and how God has turned it into something positive. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that go through struggles in life and they talk about it like, hey, I was this, I did this growing up, but now I'm this, you know. And it's a very powerful thing. It allows other people to feel and actually see how they're not alone, because you never know when someone else is going through it. And if they are going through it, they can see like, hey, whoa, okay, I'm not the only one. And that's a very powerful thing. That's all I got for that one. I don't know if you want to add anything else.
No, he's 100% right. It's something that it's all our own experiences. I think especially when it comes to Jesus Christ, or Christianity, it's pretty important to feed off of your own experience. It's kind of like the difference between book smart and street smart. You can read the Bible all you want, and which you should, but if you don't live life, or if you don't have, it doesn't have the same oomph.
Yeah.
You can resonate with either David, Saul, Solomon, Paul, Peter, X, whoever it is, due to their past.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I would say that a testimony comes into heavy, and you could relate to people with that,
Yeah.
man, a lot more.
I've heard testimonies setting people free, like
Yes.
like somebody saying so like testimonies are for everyone to grab whatever you want from him. Like maybe, for example, some little thing got you and it was like, oh, I grab it. And one thing you got to remember on testimonies is if he did it for him, he can do it for God can do it for everyone. If whatever the struggle that he went through, some of you guys are going through, God can flip that over and can do it again, can help you, can do it again, like help out, can save you, can restore whatever was broken. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, he's 100% right. So with further ado, I'll start with mine, and then Josh, whenever you want to jump in and tell yours, go right on ahead.
Most definitely.
but
Mine's not so much of a testimony, just like a confession. I think it's important for the people to know that, listen, man, nobody's perfect.
Amen.
Nobody's perfect. Like, we all go through this struggle. We go through it together. You know, we live this world called life, and it's heavy. It's heavy, but you know, you got someone up there that's looking out for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, man. So today's topic, at least for me, it's gonna be how do I even say this? Like, a lot of men do go through like sexual assault and stuff like that. We were supposed to talk about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
With the special guest. What was that guy's name?
Forgot his name.
Well, what?
Oh, not so much. I forgot his name. I don't know if I should mention it because I know he.
Oh, I'm my fault, homie. But
You know,
I put him on blast. But there you are. But yeah, that's my as far as testimony goes. But before I begin, it does happen quite a lot, especially in the Mexican household.
Yep. Very frequently.
Very frequently. Matter of fact, throughout the years of where God has put me, a handful of men have kind of spoken about it, and due to the fact that I believe that a lot of them are scared of the repercussions or the backlash of it. Not so much out of they're gonna be ridiculed, but more that they're gonna be shunned out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing for a man.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away about it happening to women, but you know, just us being men, like, I feel like that type of stuff, it's like embarrassing, it's humiliating, it's
emasculating.
yeah, it's, you know, it's, and nobody wants to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Cause,
Oh yeah, it's a very like weird thing to talk about.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, man, and I think it's a very important thing to talk about due to the fact that a lot of people, a lot of guys do go through it, and men, especially as you get older, you should start repressing it more, and that's where a lot of maybe like you don't have trust with people, you don't trust with your partner, you don't trust with anyone. That's where I think a lot of aggression relies, or depression, resentment, whatever the situation is, and that alone becomes a barrier for you to become a better you, to have a relationship with God, or whatever the situation is. It's tough. It really is tough. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I was talking to a coworker today, and he says that a lot of guys, and he's from El Salvador, they say that a lot of them go through it, and it's true. And I say, like I said, in the Mexican culture, it is. I don't have statistics or anything.
I mean, I can. I don't want to give like hardcore statistics, but I know like people from our churches and stuff, a vast majority of them, and some being in the military too.
I
like
bet.
When I say a big majority, let's say there's 10 people, like at least 6.
Oh, easy, bro. Yeah,
like
yeah.
At least 6 or 7 can tell you like, hey, yeah, you know, I never wanted to say it, but I was, you know.
Yeah. Either I think we can
I
say it. I think we can say it after like 10 seconds of YouTube.
I think it's 10 minutes. I was just talking to him about it. Like, I think it's like 10 minutes after you can start saying like
some crazy words.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah,
but you guys know what we're talking about, and a lot of
sexual assault.
Yeah.
I think we could say sexual assault.
Yeah, there you go. A big majority of them, and it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And
essayed. Sorry, there you go.
Like, I mean, I know you haven't said anything yet, but let me ask you like something. I'm just gonna.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah, Josh. Also, be as curious as you like, bro.
Yeah. I definitely do want. Do you think? Actually, let me ask you. Have you ever told anybody?
Yeah, dude. And actually, that's something I want to talk about. So to make it less ambiguous, I went through it when I was like 6 or 7. 6. 6, dude. And it was by like probably like a 16, 17-year-old. And
wow.
Yeah, dude. And like honestly,
I don't even know what to say, bro.
It's yeah, I totally.
That's tough because I've known him since he was little.
Yeah,
I never even knew it.
And like, yeah,
wow.
No, I just I totally dropped the ball. Surprise!
Wow, that's
Jesus Christ.
Hey, when it turns something around.
Yeah, I know. No, I use comedy as a deflection, but yeah, no, it happened when I was super young, man, and it really changed me. But it's crazy how the human mind is so strong because it's in the back of your head always, but at the same time, it's really suppressed where you don't think about it. But yeah, that's just to kind of clear the air. So now you know what Josh means. Like, have you ever told anybody? Yeah, part of my testimony is that, and this isn't in any way like disrespecting my family. And the Bible states, maldito sea el que juzgue,
Yeah.
and again, we're all entitled to our own judgment, and that's fine. But I'm just saying that because, my family's good people. But the reason why I say that is because a couple years ago, maybe like 2 years ago, I told my family, dude, and I felt how quickly it was swept under the rug, and how and in the male authority, I saw how the light shifted a little bit, and in a way I was seen as littled, as like little less of a man,
Like belittled.
yeah, and like you as a person know when someone energy shifts is, or as a know when like someone looks at you differently,
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the light kind of turn off, and I mean, look, bro, I mean, at that point, at this age, I mean, I honestly don't care. Clearly as comedy, it's like it doesn't hurt me, but I do know.
Oh, that's a tough thing to like.
Yeah, you just kind of have to rip off the Band-Aid, bro.
To like, I mean, I could only imagine as a parent or like someone else, how it will feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how do you even like? Do you apologize? Do you like? I mean, what steps do you go through? I mean, there's no step process. There's no list. There's no checklist. Like, okay, oh my God, this happened. Let me go get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dang, like that's very difficult. Like, how do you approach something like that? And as a father, or as a different man, and to comfort the other guy, or to, I don't know, man, that's tough.
It is tough.
Did you want to be comforted, or did you want to kind of be like, type man, like, oh man, like I'm sorry that happened, bro, but hey, let's keep pushing forward. Like, did you want to be comforted at that time by like?
Yeah, dude. Because I mean, I'm like, again, I was a very social kid, man. I was super like easygoing when, but if I laugh, guys, it's because like honestly, my mind goes through like dark sense of humor, and that's also a sign of trauma. Coping, if that's what it is. I mean, you probably could see in the military, a lot of guys have like dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
Due to
they use that as a coping
mechanism. Yeah, 100%. And but I remember I was very social, and after that happened, like my grades went down. That's why I became, Josh, you know me. That's why I became so like just quiet at church, or not quiet. I was weird. Not weird. I don't know, man. I wasn't as sociable as the other cats. And I would always ask myself why, because I can talk, but I didn't know how to, like, I didn't feel comfortable around men. I didn't. Yeah. Like, I didn't feel comfortable in the showers. I didn't feel comfortable. And I didn't know why. I mean, like, I did know why, but I didn't. And, like, I remember just, like, I just lived with it, man. And I felt so much more comfortable with women. And it wasn't because I was like, yeah, I'm trying to, lay down, but no, that's the least of my mind. It was more because you just get stuck with that fear. Yeah, dude.
I got a question for you on that one.
Yeah, shoot.
Do you think you, I don't want people being like, oh,
no, shoot, bro, be honest, bro, be straight.
You enjoyed hanging out with women, not just because that happened, but because you knew that you were a lot stronger, more masculine, and knew you couldn't get hurt with women? Like, if someone if a woman tried to pull that on you, you kind of knew, like, okay, I can boom. You know what I'm saying? So you felt like some type of like dominant way amongst them. Like, you think that could be one of the reasons as well, or?
No, not at all, dude. Like, I can easily say that it made me more compassionate.
Okay.
I was very strange in a sense that, like, I felt a lot more compassionate towards women in a sense of, in a way you understand what they go through. Mm-hmm. Mind you, I was a kid, I didn't know. I couldn't do anything about it. Well, this isn't an anime, bro, where like crazy stuff happens, but like it's just the reality of it. And I can say that women were a lot more compassionate, while men were just so much more like oh, crap happens, which is I have that mentality too.
Suck it up, buttercup type thing.
Yeah, dude. But the problem here was that they understood. and like I was able to like open up, or I knew that like I don't know, I just knew that wasn't happening, you know, with them.
Yeah.
And then again, it wasn't because I was stronger or smarter or anything. No, it just was just I just felt more comfortable.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but it's a good question though. But yeah, as time went on, I was like a social cat. I mean, unsocial. I was very strange, and not strange in a weird way. Just like I just couldn't really hold a conversation. I considered myself awkward, and it was weird, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly I had a lot of friends. People knew me, but I couldn't make intimate like connections, especially when it came to women. When it came down to the business, like, nah, yeah, no doubt, like, you know, you want to do it, but you always have that sense of guilt. It was always carrying inside of you, you know. And I didn't know why, bro. Like, I didn't know why. I mean, like, I did and I didn't, and that's the best way I can describe it. But yeah, man. And I remember just like living with through it, bro. Like I hated going to the pool. I hated going to my like just like showering other people's houses, because you always felt that like insecure little kid inside of you, and it freaking sucked, bro. And
So how'd you? I don't mean to interrupt. So how'd you
No,
kind of
no.
cope with it in the sense of like
video games.
just straight video games? That's what. So you kind of like hid yourself in the world and just
Yeah.
shut yourself out. In well, I don't want to say shut
No,
yourself
no,
out.
yeah,
'Cause
that's what it is.
some people like video games and they like that's their like passion.
True, that's true.
But so that was one of your was that one or just the only
I
coping
remember
mechanism that you used like to
um
go through the process as you were growing up and you know what I'm saying, like during that time.
yeah, no, honestly, man, it was like, okay, this is the tricky part, right? I did a lot like video games, TV, you know. I was social and unsocial. That was the best way. And this is that's the best way I can say it, man. Getting lost in like anime and stuff like that, you know, self-empowering, you know, you look up to maybe like the stuff that you want to be, and I think that's why a lot of like superheroes or like comic book people or anime people look up to so much of an anime, because they want to become that, you know.
Wow. Okay.
And
Never knew that.
yeah, and again, this is a subjective way of thinking. That's the way I thought. So I'm telling you my side. But I remember thinking like, yeah, bro, like I just didn't know. I don't know. It was such a awful way of living, because I was always in paranoia. Like I was always paranoid, always paranoid. And I remember, as time grew, like that fear became anger. But anger is this anger behind it is sadness.
I heard that somewhere. I heard it somewhere. That's actually a good point.
It is, man, and I can say that. And again, I was never a violent guy. I wasn't this guy like, you know, fighting and no, yeah, right. But I remember it got to the point, bro, where like as I think I was 19. And when you start getting older, you start looking into psychology, and you're like kind of self help. Yeah, man, like not to be so abrupt, but I remember actually before I say this part, the tricky part I was saying about is church. Like, dude, can you imagine my mom and my dad were really involved in church, right? And I sat there with God being like, WTF, dog? like
Yeah.
like
Which is honestly a valid question.
yeah,
A
it
lot
is.
of people think that, oh, why do you say it? Like, no, it's a valid question. Like, it's a really good question. And if you go through stuff, I think that's an important question to ask God.
Yeah. Oh hell
Like,
yeah.
hey, like,
Oh,
what's going on here?
Yeah.
That's a valid question.
yeah, dude, and that's where I think a lot of my resentment. And lately, you know, through my relationship, and behind that, God and I have been talking so much more, and I've been learning to kind of let go. But I remember thinking, bro, I kind of said last week, I see you in everybody's life. I see you that you save so many people. What the frick, dude? Like, and again, throughout my childhood up until my late teens and even early 20s, I was just helping people not stop. You know, it didn't make me into a bitter person. It didn't. If anything, made me into a compassionate person. I was a giant advocate to like helping people out. You know, giving away my food, my clothes, all these things. And throughout that all, man, I remember thinking, I don't feel God, and I would desperately seek Him because I would see how people would get used. And like our parents do, like the way they would get moved.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking,
Wow.
like,
Wow.
why don't I get like used? What is wrong with me? And like, I remember like, bro, it got to a point where I was telling Fatima this, and I was telling her, dude, I got to a point where I started working, right? I started working out, and I remember I would wear like these like 80-pound to a 90-pound vest, and I would run 10 to 11 miles every day, and my knees were destroyed, bro. But I remember thinking like, it wasn't so much of like the runner's high, but because more of the fact that I needed punishment, and dude, like, and I'm telling you guys this, my mind was saying like, well, one, I'm fat. Two, I need punishment. Like, I don't know why, but I remember thinking, I need punishment. My body needs to go through this because I deserve it, because I'm a sinner, because I'm dirty, and it got crazy. Like, you became your own worst nightmare. It was you against you, and it all resonated from that because one, I didn't have a support system. One, I didn't feel safe enough to talk about it. Three, you know, if I did talk about it, I know how it was gonna dance, you know. And four, like, we lived in a society. We were in like Christianity. My family was Christian based, and I was like, this is such a hypocritical way of thinking. Like, what the frick? Like, why is this drug addict? Why is this felon? Why is this person that's done so many crappy stuff being blessed and has better like a livelihood or doing all these things, while I'm over here sacrificing all this down the fourth, and I'm over here struggling my butt off just to make ends meet, or just to survive, or just to make a friend, or just to like express myself? Why am I fighting with this while this person is thriving?
That's so wild, bro. Because the episode where you weren't here, we had a topic like this.
Really?
We had a topic of questioning God, of like, why do kids go through that?
Yeah.
Why do kids? Why is there so much cancer? Like, we were going back and forth, like, questions that people have, and like, obviously, you know, you had that question, like, why? And that was one of them. Why are like famous people that are doing bad stuff, or like, you know, living lavishly and living good, and then people that are like working for you and doing your will are suffering? Like, and those were strong questions. And wow, like, I mean,
Yeah.
for asking that question, it's man, bro, like, hey, this is a tough and like,
yeah, no, it's
very deep topic.
It is.
But continue. Sorry,
No, it's okay. Please, at any time, if you have any questions, dude, don't be shy. Don't be shy, bro.
I definitely do have, like, I think it's 2 questions, but one for sure.
Yeah, no, of course. Would you like to ask him now, or want me to keep going?
Go ahead and keep going.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
Feel free to write them down or whatever, man. I don't want you to lose them, because again, the only way you're gonna combat this is through talking about it. And like, I remember seeing cats talk about this and be like, man, these cats just want attention. Like, just be like, hey, bro, like, I know I'm like, in a way, like a social outcast, or like maybe not the manliest man, but I would be like, nah, bro, I'll let God handle that. I don't want the attention. I don't want the glory. Just like, leave it in the corner and die. You know, that's what I want. But the truth is that it does happen to so many guys, and it happens to so many men. And those mother truckers that do it, bro, hey, bro, the only way those guys are going to get locked up, bro, is by talking about it, man. Yeah. And I remember growing up with that hatred, bro, like, not hatred, but it was depression. And depression I started getting into, I started watching more violent shows, and that violent show was like, well, yeah, maybe I do got to stand up for myself. Yeah. And again, I never got into fights or anything, but watching enough violence, your mind starts twisting. And it doesn't matter how jolly you are, dude. Everybody has a dark side. Not to sound edgy, but like,
I think so. I think everyone has a dark side for sure.
Yeah, and psychology does, I think, backs it up. I don't remember, but I remember thinking like, yeah, dude. I remember it It was in my aunt's apartment. She used to babysit me, and my grandma, she left to do something. My grandma was the one taking care of me. The guy invited me to play Xbox. I remember back in the day, and I remember that's when it happened, you know. And I grew up, and I remember I slowly started thinking about it when I was playing video games, and I remember thinking to myself, like, just slowly started getting into it. Slowly, I started watching, like, it's just like crazy videos. I got desensitized, bro. Like, dark humor doesn't faze me, bro. It doesn't faze me. Not that doesn't make me anything. It's just, I don't know. That was my coping.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was my mental state. And I remember slowly, dude, my mind started twisting. And I remember I was like, I wonder if I can find the files of when these cats were like living in my aunt. And I asked my aunt, what year did you live in this apartment?
Yeah.
What years did you do this? I was like, okay. Started looking it up.
Ooh.
And then I started looking up the names. And then I found the family's name.
Ooh.
And then I found the kid's name. Now the kid is a man now. And I remember I was 19, 20, yeah, roughly around. I remember, and in no way I'm glorifying this. And it's not a glorifying because nothing happens. But I remember thinking, I'm going to kill this cat. I'm going to make him suffer the way he made me suffer. Because I'm getting, mind you, at this time, my mind is in there. You know, my mind is this is my own justice, you know? No one's going to blame me, and respectfully, nobody would, you know? And I remember finding this cat's, like, not that I'm, like, this crazy guy, but the internet shows you everything. And I remember thinking to myself, like, so I found the guy, found the address, and, like, yeah, dude, I remember sitting there for a long time. Not outside his driveway, not outside none of that, but I remember, like, passing by, like, the neighborhood and just sitting there for a minute, dude. And I remember thinking, like, many occasions, this is the day. This is the day I'm going to do it. And my mind went to a super dark place. Like, like, I remember thinking, like, I don't care if his family's there. I don't care none of that. Like,
so what stopped you?
My freedom. That moment I realized, am I going to throw away my life over this piece of garbage?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking about that. But then that raised me a different war. Okay? You're not going to kill this guy, or you're not going to do anything to this guy. All right? You stop about that. What's the next thing? Facing what it was. Facing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the hardest thing ever, because in order for you to face it, you gotta, in a way, wear it. You gotta wear, like, yeah, that happened to me. Yeah, it's kind of like when you're a professional fighter, you gotta kind of have to wear your losses with your wins, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's 12-5 or something like that, and he's like, oh, well, he has 12 wins, but he does have like 5 losses. Yeah, you know, and it was like that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and
that's crazy. That really shows, though, like, you really don't know someone until you know someone.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy, man. And, like, I remember just thinking, like, facing it and, like, yeah, man, like, it was crazy, bro. Like, that's the best way. Like, it didn't hurt me, like, because I cope with it. Like, honestly, to this day, Josh, like those type of jokes don't like. If anything, in a way, sometimes I find them funny because some of the memes are stupid, you know. Yeah. But it doesn't bother me. What bothered me was just that, like, I don't know. I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't. Yeah. And again, like I said, I would talk about it with my family, and instantly it was like swept under the rug. Oh, I'm sorry for you.
Well, it's because talking about it, bro, it sets you free, man. Like, I think I've said it a couple of times, and it says it in the Bible too. You know, if you confess, like, the truth, it says the truth will set you free. Yeah. And I feel like when you talk about it, you're in other words, like, you're kind of declaring freedom. Like, you're saying I'm not gonna let this control me anymore. I'm gonna control it. So I'm gonna speak out in some type of way. So I think speaking out about it is very important. It's very good for your health. You know what I'm saying? Because it sets you free. Essentially, it really does set you free because you're giving it all the power by holding it in. But once you let it out, you're like, I'm not gonna let it have any more power. I'm gonna let it out. You know, and I'm gonna let it
right out, man. Yeah. And that's what it was, bro. Like, I remember just facing it, and it was tough because, okay, I faced it. It happened. But now you got to undo all the stuff that it did. What did it do? Your lack of trust, your lack of love, your lack of intimacy, your lack of just the lack of understanding. It blocks out everything, you know? I don't remember most of my childhood, and that's because of trauma. Your brain suppresses that, and it's just psychology speaks that it suppresses that because your brain is like, no, dude, I'm not going to let you remember that because that is such a fat impact to your head that if that happens to you, it will distort you. Mm-hmm. And our brain is so strong that it can do that. God's amazing. But, like, it was crazy. And facing it was insane, man. And that's why, like, I can easily say that, like, you know, I don't think I hurt a lot of people. I didn't. But emotionally, I always knew how to dance around people. Comedy, emotions, under compassion, all those became my biggest strengths. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they became my biggest weaknesses because I knew how to, like, and this, like I said last week, I knew how to touch people, but they didn't know how to touch me because I was so calloused. Yeah. You know? And that applied to God. I didn't know. I didn't want him. I was like, nah, bro, like, just kind of respectfully screw off, dude. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just, yeah, dude, and I surrounded myself with people that just, and this is the biggest thing, low self-esteem, bro. The low self-esteem is insane. To any mother trucker that's going out there with it, bro, no, you're not. You're not ugly. You're not disgusting. You are worth it. And I'm giving you the cheat code right here, boy. You gotta keep telling yourself that. You gotta look yourself in the mirror and believe it. Amen. You gotta believe it.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Because if you are legit, bro. I like throughout it all, God has. I'm pretty. I went through suicidal stuff, bro. Like, duh, most people do. But like, and God didn't let me, you know, off myself. God didn't let my heart be changed. I didn't become a bitter person. I didn't fall into hard drugs. And, you know, if people go through that, you know, no judgment whatsoever. Whatsoever. And all love. But
people have different ways of
coping
it, you know, and
yes, sir.
Some may not be healthy. Some may, I think none of them are healthy because you're essentially trying to find a different route instead of like facing it. And I cut you off again, but
no, dude, please.
I feel like this is a perfect time to ask you this. And because I've known you since you were little. Clearly, I didn't.
Nah, bro, it's all. I wasn't like, hey, yo, guess what happened to me?
but now that your relationship has grown with God, and I see that your relationship, physically right here, like, you know, with a woman, is growing strong and powerfully. What would you do, or what would you say, if that guy came in here right now?
Oh boy. It's not a matter if I'm ready or not. It's a matter if it would have happened. Come on in, man. But all jokes aside,
deeply inside you, like what would you say?
Honestly,
and if you're still upset, like that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like what would you say if that would happen? You know, the way you've grown and the way you've become, and because you've clearly become into a strong, independent man.
Dude,
so.
I don't believe that. And okay, correction. I am, because God has done that to me. Mm-hmm. But my physical Solen doesn't believe that, which again I am working currently on fixing that.
Okay.
So that the insecurity still is very prevalent in my life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, 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 very prevalent. But to answer your question before I divert, my human self right now, dude, would have probably broken his nose.
Right now?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Like, and I'm just keeping a $150 right now.
Yeah. The people need to hear the truth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think just because we're Christian, we magically just are like this.
Oh, it's okay. You know,
or I don't know. You know, it's difficult. And,
yeah. Oh yeah. No.
You're proving it. Like it's difficult. It's not an easy thing. You know, just because you're Christian doesn't mean you become into a saint. It's a working process. Sanctification is a working process. It's not just instantly.
No, dude. And like, again, dude, it doesn't make, like, bro, I can't express this enough. It made me into a low self-esteem guy where I felt uncomfortable around other people, where I remember seeing other kids, other teenagers my age, and they would feel so comfortable around other people, like under their own, like, naked running around, and I would just feel so freaking scared. And it's like, no, dude, you did that to me, bro.
Yeah.
You did that to me, and I don't like you did that to me, and like, I honestly, my flesh would want to be like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna bust this guy up. That's the minimum I could do, God. At least give me that.
Yeah.
But no, knowing that I'm not led by my flesh, I am not. Romans 8, I believe, says a body governed by the mind is death, but a body governed by the spirit is peace and love. Peace and life, correction. And it's true. So I honestly would have just talked it out with them, man. And I would have been straight up, like, just keep it a buck with them, and like, yeah, man, like, honestly, you're a piece of garbage, but like, God loves you. It doesn't matter what I think. I forgive you. Mm-hmm. And I have forgiven them, because what am I going to do? I'm not going to carry you around. You're not worth it. And I know that sounds very resentful, and I know that sounds very like tough, but I don't have to have a fellowship with you in order for me to coexist with you.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
So the best way I can describe it is that, hello. The best way I can describe it is just say that, hey, man, God bless you. I hope you find God. I hope you're not the same guy. Mm-hmm. And, I just will leave it at that. Like, you go your own way, you go my own way, and that's, let's just.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't have to hang out with people to forgive him, Don't confuse that. I'm going to keep it a buck. Forgiveness is a hard thing. It's a hard thing. Forgiving someone, and I've never experienced anything like that. But even on the little things, forgiving is hard. So I can only imagine some big things like that actually scarred you physically, emotionally, and I want to say spiritually too. You know what I'm saying? It affected. So forgiveness is a hard thing. Don't let anyone tell you. Some people be like, "Oh no, it's easy, bro." When you find it's a difficult thing. Let me tell you right now, it's a difficult thing. It's not easy. It takes. I don't know what the word is. It takes like faith or guts,
grit,
strength,
bro. It takes grit.
To be able to forgive someone, and yeah, man, like I feel for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy, but it's a working process, and I know God will, restore what was taken. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially something was taken. When someone is hurt, essentially something is taken, and I strongly believe that God is gonna give it back, but twice and even triple the amount. You know what I'm saying? Because He's not a God that's gonna let you down. But back to the forgiving thing, it's a difficult thing, but I know it says in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Just as He forgives us, you know what I'm saying? We need to forgive. But again, it's a difficult thing. Yeah. Easier said than done. So, don't misinterpret me or anything, but forgiveness is a powerful thing. Forgiveness is a powerful thing. And anybody who has experienced forgiveness, whether to them or has given it to someone, I think can testify that as well and be like, hey, it's a strong thing.
Yeah, no, man, and again, I mean, I like to think that, no, I'm not fully restored, but like, I'm good. I'm in a good spot in life. God has been good to me, bro. Like, everything's solid in my life right now, and everything's kicking, and just at the moment, it's just like, yeah, dude, I'm solid. God is good, but it was a process, guys. And that's the best way I can say it to you is that it's a process. And if it does happen to you, guys, you have to talk about it. And by have to, yeah. And it's like, that is the only way that you're going to be free. Because you will find a community and you are worth it. The low self-esteem is a lie, dude. The devil is a lie. And that's the best way I can describe it, man.
He's here to kill, destroy, and what else? And to rob.
And the Bible says, well, Paul says we have to outwit the devil. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he doesn't come out here and says that we have to outstrength him or we have to outmuscle him. No, bro, we just have to outwit him. And some of us were dealt a bad deck, dude. Yeah. And that's just it. And that's not me. Oh, ha, boo hoo, suck it up. No, sir. I am not saying that. What I am saying is that, look, dude, now that I know what happened to me, dude, and I know that I'm for sure a man. I know I can take care of myself, all that stuff from the fourth, bro. But I know for a fact that now when I have kids, I know I'm not going to live in a very, like, ayo, like checking out every corner, like, who touched my son? Or like, who touched my daughter? And like, next thing you know, like, don't pull out the 9. You know, like
whoa, 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 whoa.
yeah, don't pull out. Yeah,
Calm down, Jamal.
yeah, don't pull out
Don't pull out the
shout out to those guys, but yeah, no, like yeah, it's not about that. I think now I know, and I was talking to my coworker about this. Now I know if my kids, and they won't go through it because I break that chain, and it is it is a generational curse, because to anybody that's done that to you, and if you guys are going through, talk to your mom or talk to your dad if that happened to them, and then if they say yes, which there's a most likely they will, then go ask your grandparents, and then ask them if that happened to them, and it's a chain, guys. You got to learn how to break that stuff.
Yep, it's gotta be broken.
It has to be broken, and I broke it, dude. There's no way it's gonna happen to my kids, and because I have a God that's so strong that he's for sure it's not gonna happen to them, because I know he is, and if it does happen, which I rebuke it, you know, God has his reasons.
Yeah.
But to continue is that you guys have to talk about it, man. You have to talk about it, and that's the best way you're going to get it off your chest. Because, again, I live with this thing that, hey, guys, again, I read the Bible. I did all the good deeds. I stayed away from sex and drugs. I went to churches. I went to freaking, I just did everything under the light, you know, and nothing, you know. And it's such a strong barrier, bro, where if you need help, that is the best way. And since I thought I wasn't a man, I'm like, nah, bunk this noise. I need to prove myself by me breaking this on my own.
Yeah.
And that, little did I know, Porcelain, you're choking yourself out, dude. Mm-hmm. You're choking on water.
I think essentially we all need help.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Essentially, your body can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? We all need help. You know me, I always got to quote the Bible. I know it says, through man it's impossible, but through God all things are possible. And our body can only take so much. We can only do so much, but you know, God can help us and restore us. And I think we all need help. And if you need help, and if you need to talk to somebody and you don't have nobody, please, you guys can write a comment. We can shoot out prayers for blessings, prayers for safety, prayers for, you know, for healing, so you guys can feel like true love. You guys always have a platform here to talk. It doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have anybody at home, come to us. You can talk to us, and never feel like you're alone. It's a very difficult thing to go through, and I'm only speaking to like kind of like imagining because it's never happened to me, but it's a difficult thing to go through, and you don't have to do it alone. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do it alone.
That's true.
I know a lot of people question like, oh, well, why did God, yeah, it's a chain, but why did he let me do it? Just like you said, it's a generational curse, you know what I'm saying, that happens. And sometimes the Lord uses the, for lack of better words, like the weak for something big. You know, stories like this help others. Sometimes it happens so you can help others. Like maybe this video, 3 or 4 people are going to come and be like, hey, that happened to me. I need prayer. And that's already 3 people that are saved. You know what I'm saying? Through his testimony, through his, you know, knowledge and experience of what happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's powerful. You know, it's very powerful. But always remember, you're not alone.
Yeah, no. And guys, look, the best way I can say is that God has worked such fantastic ways in my life, man. I've seen the light. I've seen how God works his mighty hand. I forgot light. I need to memorize this. But one of the prayers that says that God, might and power are under your hand, and it's true. And the best way I can describe it, guys, is the way of the shepherd is a lot better than the way of the wolf. The way of the wolf it's a lonely path, and you think anger is it's gonna carry you. Let me tell you, player, no, it's not, because the strong break the.
Holding stuff like that, bro, and like anger, it's just a bomb for you. I mean, that person's probably not even thinking about this, and it's like we carry it, and it's like it's affecting ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And that person's probably just out there, not giving a hoots. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, 100%, yeah.
And that's why you got to talk about it, and that's Oh, Dan, I just looked at the time. We're at 44 minutes already.
Oh snap! Okay, but yeah, before we end it out, want to say that, guys, God is the truth, and let me tell you, if I can get over it, and that's not me saying like if I can do it, you can do it too. No, I'm that's for sure, dude, because I went under it all, And just know that it's possible, man. And like Josh said, you gotta talk about it, player. And if you guys want to talk about it with us. Or you can feel free to hit me up, and we'll talk about it there, man. And you know, you're not alone. God loves you. I love you. And most importantly, you know.
Well, I did want to say some other stuff real quick, like in the next 2 minutes. Listen, y'all, things happen in this world. We all know this world's cruel. You know what I'm saying? We know bad things happen. And, it's just, you know, it's a sad thing that happens. But just know nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? No one is perfect. We all go through our struggles, you know what I'm saying? And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. I know a lot of people try to be like, oh, no, it's easy or this or that. And just do this, just do that. And it's not that simple. It's a very complex thing, and it's very difficult. Even I myself, I don't even know if I should say my part because it's not really a testimony. Even as a Christian and following God, we make mistakes, you know, like me in the past 2 weeks. You know, I've taken like a step back. I've kind of like, for lack of better words, say like, you know, not by God, but, you know, no Bible reading, no nothing. It's just been like, you know, like me, I took a step back. I don't know how. I mean, I do know how, you know, through all these lust, sexual thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Things that really are very powerful in the spiritual realm. And yeah, just know that mistakes happen. People make mistakes no matter who you are. And just know that God's always going to be there. He's always going to help you out. He's always going to have a handout. Like I always say, come to me all who are burdened and worry, and he'll give you rest. So he's there. Just reach out.
Yeah. And like Josh says, you know, hey, man, even the mighty fall. But what makes you strong isn't that you don't fall. It's how many times you get back up.
Yep.
And
I saw that one at Rocky too. That one's good.
Yeah, no, it's true. And it's he says that life will spit you, it will chew you up and spit you out. And it's true. Yep. But you got to get back up, man, and dust yourself off and find your corner and find a good team behind you and ice yourself up, player. The rest will come in its place.
Yep. God will take care of the rest.
Yeah.
It says 1,000 will fall to my left and 10,000 will fall to my right, but I will remain, you know, on top. And I believe it. If you believe it, it's going to happen. And, you know, just stay up. Everything there's a rainbow at the other side.
Gosh.
Trust me.
Well, you sound so somber, bro.
there's a rainbow on the other side. Like there is, but there's always something better. This is just a storm we're passing through, and you know what I'm saying? Like God's got your back. He's got your back regardless. 100%. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end it because time's ticking. Like I said, if anybody feels this way, please comment. Please hit us up on Instagram. Talk to us if you guys need to. You guys always have a hand here to talk to. We have, you know, we're ears. We're here to listen. We're not here to judge. Things happen. Just know that. But I'll leave you guys with God loves you. God cherishes you. God's always with you. And a shalom, baby.
Catch you guys later. Bye.